When you reach a plateau, it's time to change your approach. And
Okay.
that could involve finding a particular weak area and focusing on it, or maybe adopting a new strategy altogether.
Okay.
It's hard to say without knowing more, but you did mention logical reasoning assumption questions as a particular area. So let's start
Right.
there.
Right. So I think when I approach those assumption questions, I look at the question stem and then I look at the stimulus and then I think, okay, so here is the conclusion, here's the evidence, and then I make my assumption, my prediction, and then I look at the answer choices. And what I've been noticing is my assumption is different than the answer choices. And from there, I'm like, oh, I panic because I worry about timing. And I don't get the answer right.
Yeah. So we got to improve your confidence on assumption questions and then also improve your understanding too.
Right.
So with logical reasoning assumptions, there's actually two completely different kinds of assumption questions.
Okay.
There's necessary assumption and sufficient assumption. Have you heard about those and the difference?
Yes. So I know that when I'm looking at a question stem that says the assumption required is typically a necessary assumption. And I think it's like if the question stem says something along the lines like, if the conclusion is logically drawn, that can be logically drawn, if the following is assumed, is more of a sufficient based assumption question.
Yeah, so sufficient enables or allows the conclusion to logically follow.
Okay.
And as an assumption required is necessary in order for the argument to work, but it may not be enough to guarantee the argument.
Okay.
So very different perspectives there. I think of necessary assumption questions as being a very specific kind of must be true question, where they're not really opening the door to new information. They're just saying, if everything in the stimulus is true, if that argument is valid, then what is a thing that would need to be true in order for that argument to work? Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.